Hello, I'm Ransty, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite book, The Looking Glass Wars. But what is The Looking Glass Wars? Well, if you like the story of Alice in Wonderland when you were a kid, just wait till you start reading this. If you have seen countless versions of the story, this book might be the most twisted version yet. The old Alice in Wonderland is now too boring and full of fantasies preteens and teenagers, or even some adults, find boring. We now prefer something more with more action. You know? Well, this twisted version of the story contains both of these, all of these, and so much more. But don't worry, it still has what makes Alice in Wonderland Alice in Wonderland. In the old story, Alice Little was a little girl who found herself down a rabbit hole in a totally new, exotic, and magical world. In this story, however, we have Alice Hart. Alice is the heir to the throne. She's a princess. She's next in line to the crown until her murderous Aunt Red kills both of her parents and forces her into hiding. In the other version, we have our villain, the Red Queen, or the Queen of Hearts. In this book, we have Red, Aunt Red, Alice Hart's murderous aunt. Red is power hungry for the throne, and she wishes to take over Wondertropolis, the counterpart of Wonderland in this story. The older version contains the famous Cheshire Cat. Now, in this book, he's Red's top assassin, part human, part cat. His ability to transform the cute little harmless kitten into a human-like feline in just a moment's notice. And the thing is, he has 9 lives. And I'm sure all of you remember the caterpillar from the original story. You know, the insect that smoke. In this twisted tale, he's one of 6 caterpillar prophets who predict and help the people of Wondertropolis. And of course, who can forget the famous Mad Hatter? In the previous version, Mad Hatter is a crazy old bloke who hosts tea parties almost all the time. Now, he's the royal guardian of the queen. He's a skilled warrior, master of different weapons. His favorite and signature weapon is a stop hat, which can turn into a flat, ring S-shaped blade, which he throws like a frisbee. You will be surprised at how much the author, Frank Bedor, was able to transform from the original into this book. What I like most about this book is all the transformations. You can see everything from the original story into this book. You can see everything. The transformation of the Mad Hatter into Hatter Madigan, the Queen of Hearts to the Red Queen, or Alice Little to Alice Hart. I also love how Frank Bedor was able to make the action and suspense in the story. Everything pieced together from the original book. I'm going to read to you an excerpt from my favorite part of the book. The Lord of Clubs snorted with laughter. "Hear, hear," demanded the Lord of Spades, rising from his chair. "The diamonds receive more land and money. So do we." Queen Guinevere was getting a headache. "There will be no increase in lands or tithes for anybody." The families protested, their voices rising in heated debate. Alice's kitten trotted into the room. "My cat!" Alice cried. The room went quiet. "Your?" Queen Guinevere said, but that was all she got out before a deep rumbling shook the palace. Goblets and chandeliers trembled, and the kitten began a gruesome transformation, its limbs stretching and expanding until it stood on 2 muscled legs, its forelegs having become 2 lean and powerful arms, and its front paws thick with claws as sharp and long and wide as butcher's knives. Its face remained cat-like, with a flat pink nose, whiskers, and slobbery fangs. This was no adorable little kitten. This was the cat, Red's top assassin, part human, part feline. Before General Doppelganger or Sir Justice Anders had time to arrive, before even Hatter Madigan could tumble into his blade-spinning action, there came shouts and an explosion from outside the dining room. The heavy double doors flew apart, the wall crumbled, and a horde of Red's card soldiers charged through the blasted opening with swords raised. Standing amid the crumbled stone and splintering of wood was a nightmare version of Guinevere, a woman Alice has never seen before. Off with their heads, the woman screamed. Off with their stinking, boring heads. And remember, if you ever do get to finish this book, Looking Glass Wars, there are 2 other books following it, Seeing Red and Arch Enemy. Have fun!